All right, guys, welcome back to Owl's Nest Woodcraft. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to make a turkey call. And so, one of the things that I've been working on is a pot call. And a lot of you would say, "Well, yeah, it's just circles." And so, actually, that's right. And so, but there are some nuances about it that I want to share with you. And so, stay tuned, and I'll walk you through my process. I've been making some cutting boards and using walnut, and so I had some leftover pieces that were about 8 or 10 inches long, and they really weren't quite big enough for me to make a cutting board with. I didn't have enough of them, so I thought, man, what better time to try making a turkey call than now with these scraps. And so I got this thing knocked out today, this base. And so I'm going to walk you through my design process on how we do it. And so appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned to learn more. Now, some of you would say that making a turkey call is just a bunch of circles. Well, you're right. And so here in this design piece, we are going to be making a bunch of circles, but the size circle is really important. So I'm going to start, and I want to have the body of the pot call needs to be 4 inches. And so we're doing radius here. And so I'll start here. In order to get a 4-inch diameter, we need a 2-inch radius. So I'll start by doing that and putting that in. And I'm going to go ahead and start centering that. Put that in the center, okay? The next thing we've got to do is we have to make a lip that will go around. And there's a lot of different places that you can source the slate from, or the sounding boards from. And so there's a lot of different, there are common sizes. And so the size that I've chosen to use is 3.5. And so I'm just gonna make a copy of this one. I'm gonna do Control C, and make a copy. And then I'm gonna resize this by I want a 3.5 inch diameter. So that's 1.75 inches. So I'll just bring that back to center. So that's going to create the inside of the lip, like you guys see right here. That's going to create that inside piece as we get ready to have that lip for that to sit on. Now this is going to have an 1/8 inch lip that goes around there. So we'll just do a little quick math, and an 1/8 inch on top of that. I'm going to make a copy again. Control copy. And so what's 1.75 minus 0.125? So 1.75 minus 0.25. So that'll be 1.625. Hit enter. And again, I'm going to center that. And so that third circle there is going to create that inside lip that we're looking for that sounding board to sit on top of. And so we just added that there. All right, the next part that I want to show you guys how to make is the center of the turkey call, where the sounding board is going to rest. You'll have the inner lip to hold it in place, but you also want this section as well to be able to support that sounding board. And so we're going to start in the middle. And so again, I'm going to start by just making some circles. And the inner circle I want to be 0.75. Go ahead and center that to the stock. I'm going to make 3 copies, and I'll kind of explain why here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and select those all as well, and align them to stock and center. And then I'm going to make one more circle, and this one's going to be an 1/8 inch bigger than that, so it's going to be 0.875. And again, I'm going to center that to the pieces. Now, in order to get this little indentation right here cut out. We got to go through some of the process of using some of the bowling and intersection and subtraction features. And so I'm going to start with a rectangle. So I'll go to rectangle over here. And I'm just going to draw. I want that to be 0.5 by 2 inches. And again, I want it centered. Put that in there. I must have hit something wrong. I want that 0.5 by 2. All right, there we go. I'm going to need 2 of these, so let me do a copy of that. I'm just doing Shift and C. I'm sorry, Control and Sheet and C, and then I want to align those. So again, inner circle, the rectangle, bowling feature, subtraction. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the outer circle. Click that rectangle, and then I'm going to do the subtraction feature. Now I've got these inner circles again, and so I want to start now with this kind of half circle of what I've got, and so I'll click that first. Then I'm going to click one of these other of the 3 inner circles, and then I'll hit the subtraction feature. And then lastly, I'm going to grab this other side, half circle. I'm holding Shift, and I hit the inner circle, and then I hit the subtraction feature. And then if I come back in, I'm going to hit, highlight that, hit delete. I'm going to highlight that and hit delete. I'm going to highlight this and hit delete. And then I have this inside circle that's been created on the design. Now within this, I can take and select these, and I can do a tool path that will show a pocket. And so let's click on that. And so I'll change this to a 1/4 inch end mill because that's what I'm going to be using. And whenever we look at that, we look at the pathway that it's going to do and that kind of thing. I'm doing all of the standard settings that is already programmed into Carbide Create. I hit OK. Hit OK again. And whenever I come out, look at the toolpath that's going to happen. And it says for me to go from 0 to 0.8 is going to take 5 hours and 51 minutes. And we know that that's just not feasible. So I'm going to have to try a different solution. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some circles, and we'll see if we can't cut that down. So let me delete that. Go back to the design. And so I'm gonna copy, and we're gonna end up making 6 more circles. So I'm just gonna hit Control and copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm gonna go back to this particular one. I'm gonna start making those sizes, and so this one needs to be 1.385. Since I'm using a 1/4 inch end mill, I'm just going to use a slightly smaller circle than a 1/4 inch. And so the way that this is kind of set up, it looks like I'm using 0.24, and so I'm going to have a little bit of overlap there as we go through that. So then I've got 1.145. Okay. I've got 0.905. I'm going to hit OK. And I've got 0.5. I'm going to hit OK. Now, all of these need to be centered, so I'm just going to hold Shift and start clicking these guys. I got to get them in the center of the deal here. So I want that aligned to stock. Something didn't happen there. Align to stock. Try again. Toot. Align to stock. Boom. Oh, there's one more that I missed here. We'll align that with the stock also. So now I have all of these different circles, and we're ready to start going in here and cutting and setting up the tool paths for this. And I think that we're going to find that it's going to be much less time than what we said. The other thing that we want to do on the turkey call is we have to make these sound holes, and so each of these are almost a 1/4 inch wide. Um, the problem though is you know you think of it and you think of this router bit, this end mill as a drill bit, and it's just going to go straight down and just do a drill bit and back up. Well, unfortunately, that's not really the way that the CNC thing is set up. And so you actually have to make this hole, if we want this to be 0.25, you actually have to make it just a slight bit bigger. And so we'll set these at like 0.27 as far as diameter, and we'll be able to accomplish our goal here. I'm going to do let's do 0.27. Okay, and if you look, remember when we hit 0.27, that's radius. Okay, I don't need 0.27 radius. I need a 0.27 diameter, and so 0.27 radius would be 135. Okay, let's just do 1.3 and get it like that. Then I'm going to make some copies. Again, I'm holding Control and C. Control C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Made one too many. Well, let's just drag these and pull them all down here. So we'll start by dragging these guys in here, and I'll do a center alignment. I'll just get these kind of close, and I'll use the circle that's already in place to kind of help me get the alignment that I need. We'll get close, and then we'll add a little bit more here. I'm not sure what's going on with my mouse. There we go. So I'll click this one and this one, and we will align that left to right. Let me zoom in there. You can zoom in and get this right on the edge of that other one. So got those two, and on this one we want to align these vertically. Then again, I can go back in, get pretty close. These don't have to be super exact. I mean, I don't think a millimeter off one way or the other is going to impact the sound too greatly. Then the other four, I'll just start eyeballing and try to get them equidistant and placed in there into the design. That's got them all. Okay. So now if we just zoom in, we can start to see this taking shape as to what we want it to look like. And I think it's going to turn out really, really nicely. Okay. Now, again, that's just a quick tutorial on how to get those holes. I have all 8 of those aligned now. I've got the center hole aligned in there. Now it's time, we've got everything designed. Everything now is in the program just like that we want it to be. And it's time for us to set some tool paths. So let's switch over there. So let me get to that point of at the tool paths. And so I'm just going to delete this one. I don't even remember what we did with that. And we'll just start over. But the way that I want to make sure I do this is that this level between here and here, and then these guys, all of those have to be the same height. And so I'm going to start with a pocketing path. And I want to cut down, do a contour. I'm going to do a pocket, and I want to go from 0 to 0.125 because I want to go an 1/8 inch deep, because that's exactly the thickness of the soundboard that I'm going to make. And so I'm just going to title this top pocket. That's going to take us 8 minutes. Then we start going in a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper from there. And so I'm going to click this guy. I'm going to do a contour path. I'm going to start depth at 0.125 because remember we're already there at 0.125, and I'm going to go down to let's just go to 0.75, and we're going to do an inside tool path, and you'll see that going there. Okay, that's our path. Then we'll go to the. It's kind of hard to see them now. Let's go ahead and disable these so we can see them. Enable. So let's see where we've been. So we've done that one. Now we're going to do the inside here. Do a contour. We're going to do an inside path. We're going from 0.125 to 0.75. We hit OK. Then we're going to do here. We're going to hit contour. We're going to do it inside. We're going 0.125 to 0.75. We're going to hit there. This one's a little bit tricky. See how close it is to those that outside. I'm not sure that I want to do an inside tool path. Obviously, if I do an inside tool path, it's going to take off some of that support system. So I'll probably go ahead and hit contour, and I'm going to make this one an outside tool path. So I'm going to click outside here, and it's not going to get right up next to that base there, that stabilizer, but it'll be really, really close. If anything, it'll make that a little bit thicker, and then we can go back in with the chisel and take out that little bitty part right there. So we're going to start again at 0.125 and hit that. I'll tell you what, let's go back and let's make this a better, let's just delete this. We'll just go back and we'll say this one, this one, and this one. Let's do contour, and let's do outside right on those. And so that's going to get that part there. And then let's go from here, here, and we'll do let's do a pocket on that one. That should get all of that area. Okay. So we've got all of those in place. I'll just go through them again really quickly so we can see. We've got our top pocket that's going to take it down 1/8 of an inch. We start doing paths going from 1/8 of an inch all the way down to 0.75, and we just keep going inside to inside. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is make sure that we get our holes drilled. And so again, we couldn't use just the single 1/4 inch bit. So we had to make those just a little bit larger than 1/4 inch. So I'm going to highlight all those. I'm going to climb in here to contour again. And this time we're starting, remember we've cut this all the way down to 0.75 already. And whenever I measured with my caliper, the blank that I had, it was 0.91. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 0.92. That way I can get it done. I want this to be an inside cut. I want it to be on the inside of that hole, and I'm just going to call this sound hole. Okay, and that's going to be done in under 2 minutes, so that's good. Last thing we're going to do is cut this thing out. So again, I'm going to go to the outside. I'm going to hit contour. This time I'm going from 0 down to 0.91. Because that's the of my caliper, and I'm going to do that on the outside. I also want to make sure that in this time, I don't want to make a mistake, and so as it's cutting, I'm going to add some tabs. Now, some of you may not use tabs, and oftentimes I don't. But in this kind of piece, I'm going to go ahead and use some tabs. So I'll add those in there. And again, to add tabs, it's really easy. You hit Edit Tab, and then you go in and you just click where you want your tabs to be, and then you can set your width and height right there for your tabs. I'm going to have 4 tabs. You probably don't need that many, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to label this outside cutout. All right, at this point, I think that we have all of our tool paths. And if you remember, I showed you that original pocketing pass. And remember, it was almost like 6 hours, something crazy. And so if you start adding all these up, 8 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes, and 10 minutes, what are we? Somewhere around 35 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. Once I get it on the machine and make sure that everything's going the way that I want it to, I start amping that up. And so I'll use that percent feature and give it more than 100% as it goes about. So let's do one more simulation here and take a final look and see what type of product we're going to have. All right, and so this is where we're looking at. Okay, I'm going to take that and tilt it just a little bit, and you can see we start with a flat piece. We drop down 1/8 of an inch here, and we did a complete pocket on that. And that makes sure that that height and that height is the same. And then we just did a series of circles, and those circles get cut out and cut out and cut out, and eventually we get down to the bottom of 0.75. I do see one issue as we look at the simulation. I'm missing my middle hole, and so I can't do that. So I'm going to go back and add that in where it says sound holes there. I'll just go back and I'll hold shift and I'll click that one and make sure that I get that. Oh, we can't leave that guy out. So at the end, this is my design, and so hopefully as you've walked through this process and you've been able to see how I've used Carbide Create. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching through the end of the video, and so hopefully all of this makes sense to you. And so it's using Carbide Create to do this is it's a different way of doing it. I'm sure there are a million different ways that I could have used Carbide Create to design this particular piece. This is the way I chose to do it, and in my mind, that's how it made sense. And so at the end, you're going to have a nice little piece that looks something similar to this. And I hope that the next time that you see this, it's going to be a finished product that has a soundboard on it, and making some purrs and some yelps and getting ready to call those gobblers in for spring turkey season. So hope this guy helped you out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if this has helped you. Hopefully you'll find some value in it. And so give us a like, give us a subscription, and share the link. So you guys have a great day. Take care.